Spain is in shock. A royal storm is brewing behind the gilded gates of Zarzuela Palace, and this time, it's personal. Very personal. A quiet shopping trip has spiraled into a full-blown national scandal involving Queen Letizia, King Felipe VI, and their eldest daughter, Princess Leonor. At the heart of the controversy, a deeply troubling breach of trust and privacy, leaked photographs of the 18-year-old heir to the Spanish throne, allegedly captured and distributed by a member of a shopping center's own security staff. Now, the Spanish royal couple has launched a bold legal offensive, suing the shopping center in question. And while the royal household is famously discreet, this explosive move has sent a clear and powerful message: protecting Princess Leonor is a line in the sand no one is allowed to cross. So what really happened behind the scenes? What drove Queen Letizia and King Felipe to take the unprecedented step of seeking justice through the courts? And what does this mean for the future of their daughter, who is preparing to step into the spotlight as Spain's future queen? Let's take you deep inside the scandal shaking the Spanish monarchy, and why the stakes are higher than ever. The Spanish royal family is no stranger to scrutiny. Since the abdication of King Juan Carlos in 2014, amid financial scandals and public backlash, King Felipe VI has worked tirelessly to rebuild public trust. Beside him has stood Queen Letizia, a former journalist turned queen consort, known for her steely composure and deep commitment to protocol. But while King Felipe focused on diplomacy and royal duties, Queen Letizia's gaze remained fixed on one goal: protecting her daughters, especially the poised and intelligent Leonor. Over the years, the royal couple has maintained a firm grip over their daughters' public appearances. Every photo, every speech, and every outing is carefully orchestrated. So when Princess Leonor, now 18, began appearing at key public events, from state ceremonies to her military training in Zaragoza, it was done with calculated precision. This is why the breach that took place was not just a violation of privacy, it was, in the eyes of the Spanish royals, a betrayal. According to Spanish media reports, the incident occurred earlier this year when Princess Leonor made a discreet visit to a shopping center in Madrid during her brief break from military training. The trip, sources suggest, was meant to be low profile. Leonor, dressed casually, was accompanied by plain-clothed security personnel, blending in with the public like any other teenager. She reportedly visited a few high-street stores and stopped for a snack, a rare moment of normalcy for someone born into global attention. But that normalcy would be shattered. Reports now reveal that during her visit, a security guard working at the shopping center recognized Leonor and allegedly snapped several unauthorized photographs, possibly using the mall's surveillance footage or even a personal phone. These images were then, it is claimed, leaked to a third party, and began circulating on select online forums, some even reaching tabloids that cover European royalty. Though the images were never officially published in mainstream media, their existence was undeniable, and deeply alarming to the Spanish royal family. For Queen Letizia and King Felipe, this was the final straw. Not only was their daughter's privacy violated, but the leak posed a potential security risk, exposing her location and schedule. The royal couple acted swiftly, filing a formal lawsuit against the shopping center's management for negligence and breach of data protection laws. According to sources close to the royal household, the legal complaint accuses the shopping center of failing to enforce its internal protocols, thereby allowing a security staff member to compromise the privacy and safety of a member of the royal family. In addition, the royal household is reportedly demanding a thorough internal investigation, as well as guarantees that similar breaches will not happen again, whether for the royal family or for other high-profile individuals. Leonor is just a young woman trying to live a normal life. She deserves privacy like anyone else, one Twitter user posted. Others, however, questioned why such harsh legal action was necessary. Is this about the leak or about control? Asked one opinion columnist in a Madrid-based newspaper. The royal family must accept that public figures are always under a lens. But royal watchers and constitutional experts disagree. In Spain, the monarchy operates under a constitutional framework that guarantees protection from harassment or stalking, explained royal historian Lucia Gonzalez in an interview. Leonor, despite being the heir to the throne, is still a minor under Spanish law. Any unauthorized surveillance of her is not just unethical, it may be criminal. Insiders close to Zarzuela Palace say that Queen Letizia was absolutely livid upon hearing of the photo leak. Known for her protective instincts, Letizia has long been the royal family's gatekeeper when it comes to her daughters. She's faced criticism in the past for being too controlling, even accused of clashing with Queen Sofia over photo ops involving her children. But in this case, many are praising her fierce response. "She's not just the Queen of Spain, she's a mother," said one source. "She will do anything to protect Leonor and Sofia, especially from exploitation." It's also worth noting that Letizia, as a former television journalist, understands the media landscape better than most. She knows how a seemingly harmless photo can snowball into a tabloid frenzy, or worse. While the public sees a composed, polished young royal, those close to Princess Leonor describe her as studious, soft-spoken, and surprisingly down-to-earth. She's currently undergoing military training, preparing for her future role as commander-in-chief, a requirement for all future monarchs of Spain. She speaks multiple languages, has delivered speeches with grace, and is slowly stepping into her future as queen. But despite all this, Leonor is still a teenager. And like all teenagers, she craves some sense of privacy and autonomy. "She wants to serve her country," said one family friend, "but she also wants to live. She wants to walk in a mall without fear." The lawsuit is ongoing, with lawyers representing the royal household reportedly seeking both civil and criminal penalties for the implicated security staff member and potentially the management of the shopping center. Meanwhile, Princess Leonor has resumed her military duties, but under heightened security. Palace sources confirm that royal protection protocols are being updated across the board. And as this case unfolds, one thing is clear: Spain's monarchy is drawing a hard line on privacy, and it's willing to fight for it. For Queen Letizia and King Felipe, this lawsuit is more than a legal maneuver, it's a declaration. A declaration that their daughter's life cannot be treated like a spectacle. That no job, not even that of a security guard, gives someone the right to violate trust. While the lawsuit may appear to be an isolated incident, a simple legal complaint against one shopping center and a staff member, it's much more than that. In the eyes of the public, this case symbolizes a turning point in how royal privacy, media ethics, and individual dignity are negotiated in modern Spain. The monarchy, an institution steeped in centuries of tradition, has always been a symbol of unity. But in the 21st century, as digital technology erodes the walls between public and private, that unity is often threatened by the very world that watches the royals with such fascination. In Princess Leonor's case, her image is not just symbolic of the monarchy, it's the future of the Spanish crown. How she is portrayed and perceived now will shape how she is accepted when the time comes for her to take her father's place. Every leaked image, every unauthorized video clip, every careless whisper in the tabloids adds another layer of pressure to a young woman growing up with the weight of a kingdom on her shoulders. This is why her parents' actions, particularly Queen Letizia's boldness in confronting the matter head-on, have struck a chord. Many see this not as a fight for privilege, but as a mother and father trying to defend their child's right to live free of surveillance and exploitation. To understand the intensity of this lawsuit, it's worth revisiting the long and often uncomfortable history of privacy breaches involving European royals. From the British paparazzi frenzy of the 1990s, culminating in the tragic death of Princess Diana, to more recent scandals involving hidden cameras and drone photography near royal estates, royals have been constant targets of the ever-evolving media machine. Even Queen Letizia and King Felipe themselves were once victims of tabloid overreach. In the early 2000s, during their courtship, Spanish and international tabloids competed to dig into Letizia's personal life, from past relationships to her work as a journalist. At the time, she was fiercely defended by King Felipe, who publicly denounced the media circus. That moment foreshadowed what we're seeing now. This isn't new territory for Spain's monarchs, but it is new for Princess Leonor, and the fact that she is still so young makes the situation even more critical. Spain's constitution outlines clear limits regarding the legal immunities and responsibilities of the royal family. King Felipe VI, as monarch, enjoys certain protections under the law. However, when it comes to his family, especially his children, those protections are less rigid. This legal gray area makes the current lawsuit both unprecedented and deeply interesting from a judicial standpoint. Legal experts suggest that Queen Letizia may be taking the lead in this case precisely because her status as consort, and as a private citizen in the legal system, allows her greater leeway in pursuing civil action. According to constitutional lawyer Emilio Ramos, Queen Letizia has every right to file suit in her own name or on behalf of her minor children. In this case, Princess Leonor's image rights and privacy laws were clearly violated. Ramos continues, this could set a new precedent in Spain for how privacy laws apply to royal family members. The outcome will be closely watched by legal scholars across Europe. On one hand, the press plays a vital role in shaping the monarchy's public image, covering events, highlighting charity work, and documenting royal milestones. On the other hand, it often crosses ethical boundaries, especially when the promise of an exclusive photo comes with a hefty price tag. Spanish tabloids such as Lecturas and Semana have frequently flirted with sensationalism, publishing details about royal wardrobes, rumored family rifts, and even body language analysis. In this digital age, where paparazzi can sell a blurry phone photo for thousands of euros, the temptation to bypass ethics is immense. But in the case of Princess Leonor, the tide seems to be turning. Most mainstream outlets refused to publish the leaked images, signaling a rare moment of restraint and solidarity. An editorial in El País praised the media blackout, stating, "A line has been crossed, and it is up to all of us, the media, the law, and the public, to restore the barrier between what is of public interest and what is private pain." Princess Leonor's journey to the throne has always been carefully choreographed. Her early speeches, her education at UWC Atlantic College, and her enrollment in military training, all have been meticulously designed to prepare her for the crown. But now, with the intrusion of unauthorized surveillance, the question looms, will this episode change the way the future queen is seen by the public? Royal historian Alberto Scenes believes this could, ironically, boost Leonor's popularity. Many people are seeing her not just as a figurehead, but as a young woman who deserves compassion. Her poise in the face of this breach, and her continued service despite it, sends a powerful message: she's not just a princess, she's a future leader. Others worry that such incidents could make the royal family more reclusive, less accessible, and far more controlled in their public appearances, a decision that could backfire in an age where transparency is currency. Sofia is being protected. Amidst the drama, another key figure has remained in the shadows: Infanta Sofia, Leonor's younger sister. Sofia, who recently joined her sister at some public events, is said to be devastated by the breach. According to palace insiders, Queen Letizia is now doubling down on protection for both daughters, not only physically, but emotionally. This has shaken the entire family, says a palace source. Sofia is still very young, and this breach has forced conversations that perhaps weren't meant to happen so soon. There are now unconfirmed reports that Letizia has requested a review of the girl's security detail, not just for public outings, but also during private and scheduled breaks like the shopping trip that led to the current scandal. As the lawsuit proceeds and legal documents are filed behind closed doors, the Spanish public is watching closely, but also reflecting deeply. What does it mean to live in an age where every action is filmed, every face recognized, every movement mapped? Can a monarchy survive in a world where privacy no longer exists, and where even its youngest members are not spared? In many ways, this lawsuit is not just about a photo. It's about who we are as a society, what we value, and whether we are willing to protect the people we place on pedestals, not for their power, but for their humanity. Years from now, when historians write about Queen Letizia's role in shaping the monarchy of the 21st century, they may look back on this moment, not as a scandal, but as a defining act of courage. It is no small thing to challenge an entire institution over a single image. But in doing so, the Queen has drawn a red line. And she has dared the nation to cross it again. Princess Leonor's legacy may not just be about speeches, ceremonies, and crowns. It may also be about her mother's determination to defend her dignity, and the country's choice to honor that fight. As this case winds its way through the legal system, Spain finds itself in a moment of national introspection. The monarchy, once battered by scandal and political pressure, is now revealing a new face, one of parental strength, personal boundaries, and principled resistance. Princess Leonor continues her training with discipline. Queen Letizia sharpens her focus on integrity. And King Felipe stands between tradition and modernity, determined to leave the crown stronger than he found it. The story may have started with a photo, but it ends with a question far more profound. What do you think? Did Queen Letizia and King Felipe do the right thing by suing the shopping center? Should royals be given stricter privacy protections, or is this simply part of public life in the modern world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive, in-depth royal coverage. Tap the notification bell so you never miss a royal update again.